I think most mothers go through a guilt complex. You don't think you ever do quite enough for your kids, and it seemed like, especially in the beginning, all the time and extra time, because we had to fit it around everything else, went into this dream called MOTUS.
I was embarrassed the first few years, you know, the embarrassed, I guess is too strong. No, embarrassed is a good word. Is that, oh, you know, here I'm an artist and I can't do my art full time, so I'm not good enough. You know, so I have to work at a truck company. You know, so there was that type of struggle, like, you know, so like, you know, am I an artist, am I a welder, am I this, am I that?
It's been healthy for us to have one foot in and one foot out of the performing world. Because I think for myself, I think you can get so caught up in making works that are tricks, and, you know, it's like, how can we, I don't know, you just don't have as much substance to bring in from your other world.
But I think because of the perseverance over the years, I realized that that actually has informed my art, because it's given that sense of security. It's given that, how do I relate to people outside of me dressed like a clown? So if I really understand who I am, then I can relate to welders, I can relate to sheep shearers, I can relate to that, because they're just human interaction. So I think our work and day jobs actually has paid off as far as continuing that idea of community and how to communicate to people. Interesting, I find the people I shear for, who are mostly, you know, Italians or Germans or farmers in general, they're much more open to me being a dancer than my dance friends who know that I'm a sheep shearer. I find that people in rural settings tend to be a lot more mature about their relationships and tend to be a lot more mature about how they approach life. So when we do dance classes for the hockey players in, you know, wherever, up in Sioux Lookout, they're usually really open to it and going for it. You do that in Toronto and they just freeze.
It's taken us a while to sort of get integrated into Stouffville, and you know, not by anyone's intention, by no means, it's just the way it is. And part of that, again, was because we had nowhere to, there was no common place to meet or be. Our hope going to the meetings with the town's council when they were looking at building their first theatre, you know, we wanted to do everything we could to support that process. We really believed it would be at the heart a place for everyone to come. There would be sort of a unifying force.
But the idea is that art at some point has to have meaning, because ultimately a community is looking for ritual, they're looking for meaning, they're looking for some touchstone by which to judge themselves, judge the community, judge others. Certainly, you know, we have education and schools supply that, we have religion and churches supply that, you know, and we have sports, you know, we have rinks and everything else. So our idea is that, well, get in contact with your culture, get in contact with your community, and then just communicate to that.
We were intrigued with this more of a small town mentality. So we put roots here, and I guess for 20 years, there was really not a whole lot of opportunities to perform in this town. And we had the opportunity to help launch the center and the opening ceremonies. We did our show Carmina Burana. We had just finished touring England, so we closed the opening ceremonies with that show. And that was a thrilling moment, because people had heard for years that there was this professional company in town, but we were almost like this mysterious thing that, well, where are they?
You know, what's best to me, I've been in Stouffville for 30 odd years, is to see this location actually being used for events like this, to get the young in, to get the variety in, to get just the theatre going is so exciting.
We really want to help and be a part of making sure that this facility it really gets established on a strong foundation, that we really help build an audience. And so I'm involved in working with the youth and, you know, drama programs in the summer. And
we've been here, well, this is our 20th year, and so we haven't really been centered or much of a core to the community. So we've had little branches and outreaches of people and connecting to different artists and people within our community through the years, but it's been very slow. And it seems like the last couple of years now that we've have at least a theater here to perform in, it seems like the interconnections are so much stronger, and I feel much more community development happening now. It seems like it's running fast forward almost the last year within Stouffville.
You know, I love the idea of what we do with the Christmas Carol in terms of connecting, because we open it up to local performers really all in York region, not just Stouffville. And whoever wants to, from age 7 to 99, can come out and audition, and they do. And adding those extra 20 performers in the show is a wonderful thing for development, for offering a place of self-expression, for offering for people who might think, wow, would I ever want to do this as a career?
So you know what, you can keep that for a while, because we'll take you as Tiny Tim.
Cool.
Okay? And we'll take you Claire as...
I'd like to become a dancer, actor, kind of, and perform with MOTUS.
And so, our whole idea of being in Stouffville and the centre now that's here is, I think, goes along with something that we've been doing for years, is that it's just that we're just simply presenting what is our view to the world. Okay? Not in an egotistical way, telling them that this is what you need to believe. We don't have a political agenda to change your mind, okay, or a religious agenda to suddenly change your belief. What we do is we're presenting to inspire thought, response, communication.
I really feel like it's not just a performance on a stage, it's a performance to the people. The energy just fills the whole room.
And some of the projects we're working with now where we run a program in Banff twice a year that works with business leaders and helping them solve some of their leadership challenges through movement and their leadership development through dance. Because through movement, many times you can find a lot more clarity than just using your intellect. The body has a way of knowing that's different than the mind. And a lot of people have never experienced that. And every time we run that program, I'm just astounded at what people gain and learn from that.
We tour all over, and we've been touring for 20 years. We've been very popular amongst Canada. We get around in England as well. We do lots of different things too. We work with cerebral palsy. We work with in Banff Centre. We do workshops. We do lots of different things. We perform children's shows, we perform adult shows, we do bawdy, adult dance stuff, with Carmina Burana, and then we do things like Circus Terrifico, which is sort of a fun, silly, crazy children's show, All of it, I think, has a central idea. The central idea is that we have an energy and we're using our art to communicate that energy. And it's true, it's the energy that people pick up. They don't get the intellectual arguments, at least in dance, but what they do is they get the energy and the feeling. So in the true sense of the word, it's spiritual, because it's connecting with something that people are unable to articulate, but if they work at it, when they articulate it, they go, that's it. And that's what we want to hit in this community here, is people to see something and go, and then articulate it and go, that's it.
Yeah, there's a lot of times you want to sort of throw in the towel, because sometimes it's way more work than the reward, or what you feel the reward is. And I'm usually talking, getting, a few weeks holidays a year, financial reward, those types of reward that we all look for in our jobs. And but yeah, it's really flourished. It's because we just keep hammering it and doing it.
And I can't get over the fact that, these guys are my age, and I can't imagine myself whipping around being as creative and talented.
To now be celebrating our 20th anniversary, to me, is a total miracle. Because I was wanting to exit stage left so many times. So it is a miracle, that's all I can say.
I think a hot button for all of us is that we see people transformed.
Yeah.
People really touched, kids feeling better about themselves, feeling better about their personalities, growing. And not only kids, but in Banff we see corporate executives One guy just said, you know, after doing this course, I'm going to be a better father. So you go, oh, that's great. You know, so we hang on those type of transformations, and ultimately there's not much more that we can hope for, and what a wonderful thing we can give to the world, hopefully discoverable as well.